Okay, in this issue, let's learn how to hook the sunflower. The materials we need to use are wool. 3 colors of wool. The back is filled with cotton like this. Padding cotton is used to be tucked in the middle of the flower core. Then the flower pole is a thick wire like this. As a flower stalk. The leaves need to be filled with thin iron wires. We use a crochet hook for such a thin wire tool. To crochet, use the big end of the hook. The big mark buckle. Make a mark. The suture needle used is used to hide the thread. Then everyone needs to bring their own scissors. Bring your own scissors lighter. The lighter is used here. Finally, you need to tie a knot here. And then we use it to burn this strip of adhesive. Stick this up. Let's take a look at our wool again. It is a combination of 4 thin threads. There will be such a separation in the middle. This is normal, not a quality issue. Then novice friends were not skilled when they just started hooking. It will be said that 1 thread or 2 small threads are hooked. In this way, you can't hook the whole root completely. This is also normal. Then we need to practice the method of holding the thread and the needle more. Master its crochet skills. It would be nice to be more skilled. Everyone, take out the centered wire. Coffee or brown? Let's hook this part first. His bottom is green. Only the surface part is made of coffee or brown thread. Good. Let's take a look at the first circle of the flower heart. Annular needle lifting. 6 short needles. Hold our thread with your right hand. Hang our thread on the left hand. Little finger in front and back in a circle like this. Pull over the top of the index finger. Then loop our thread around the middle finger like this. Good. Pinch the intersection with your thumb. So this is how we hold the thread when we knit. When hooking, keep this thread on the index finger straight and don't be too loose. Don't pull too tightly either. Hold this thread between your little finger and your ring finger. When hooking, setting out the thread like this appropriately. Pick up the crochet hook in your right hand. Hold the crochet hook like a pen. The crochet hook is the big crochet hook. The big one is good. Crochet hook head down, insert loop. Then put it above the line. Put the crochet hook out above the thread. Hook the thread over it. After hooking over, hook to this position. Our crochet hook can be turned around like this. Good. Turn it over like this. Then stretch our crochet hook. Then put our crochet hook on the left side of this thread. Press the left side of this thread and wind it from bottom to top. After winding the thread, hook it out of the original loop on the crochet hook. When the hook comes out, we can lift the crochet hook up in this position. It's good to loosen this position a little bit. Then hook it over again. Good. Hook it over and tighten it. Hooked like this, left and right tightening. Good. Then this step plays the role of fixing the coil. It doesn't count the stitch count. Next, we need to hook 6 short stitches in this circle. At the same time of hooking, thumb and middle finger always hold these 2 threads. Always pinch these 2 threads. Short needle hook method. Everyone watch me demonstrate. Hook method of short needle. When hooking, press and hold the loop on the crochet hook with your middle finger. Then insert the crochet hook into. Inside this coil, insert it. Then the crochet hook is placed under the thread. Put it below this line. Wrap the thread counterclockwise. Wrap it around and hook it to the front. Hook to the front of the coil. After hooking it over, stretch it like this. Good. Now there are 2 loops on the crochet hook. Crochet straight around this thread. Winding from bottom to top. Drag the wound thread out of these 2 loops on the crochet hook for him. Good. Then this is how the short needle is hooked. Hook a short needle. A V-shaped braid will be formed here. Crochet down this position has a V-shaped braid. Good. Let's put a mark on this stitch for him. Through his side like this. Hang 2 wires at the same time. Good. Represents the first stitch of the first turn. We put a mark on the first stitch of each later turn. Good. Then continue to hook the short needle in this way. Crochet hook inserted into loop. Place below the line. Wrap the thread counterclockwise. Hook the wrapped thread to the front. Pull it. Good. Now crochet the 2 loops on the hook. Crochet straight around this thread. Winding from bottom to top. Hook it from these 2 loops on the crochet hook. 2 short needles are good. We made 6 short needles in total. Crochet insertion loop. Winding. Hook over. Pull it forward, okay. 2 loops on a crochet hook. Crochet, direct winding. Drag these 2 loops from the crochet hook. Good 3 needles. Continue. Four needles are good. Following the method like this, let's make 6 stitches in total. Insert coil. Winding the thread counterclockwise and hooking it over. Well. Then proceed with the winding. Hook through 2 coils in turn. 5 needles. Good. The last stitch. Hook it out by winding the wire. 6 needles are good. After hooking 6 short needles, you can count this braid. See if it's 6 braids. Mark buckle here is the first stitch. Here is the calculation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That loop on the crochet hook, isn't it? It's 6 stitches here. We also put him a cross buckle on the 6th stitch. This means the last stitch of the first lap. We can also hang a cross buckle on him. Good. Take it off after hooking the 6 needles. Then pull the thread tightly. Tighten this short thread directly. Then put the thread on the back. Hang up the line again. Good. Then we need to hook an extractor needle. Connect this circle end to end. The hook method of pulling out the needle. From the first shot. That is to say, remember, insert the number buckle here. The left mark buckles this stitch. Plug in here. This braid is inserted. Then hook this thread over. Direct winding. Hook over. Hook over. There is no need to wind the wire after hooking it. Then directly connect the front coil. Drag him out of this coil in the back. This is a draw. We don't count the number of stitches for this braid formed by pulling out the needles. We're gonna pull it tight. Press and hold this loop on the crochet hook directly with your middle finger. Pull tight like this. Tighten up here. This coil shortens it after it is tightened. Good. Hang up the line again. Good. So our lap is complete. Let's take a look. Then we need to hook a braid needle. As a standing needle for the second circle. Hook method of braid needle. The crochet hook is placed on the left side of the thread. Winding the wire like this. Hook it over after winding the thread. Hook it directly. This is a braid. Then our pull-out needle and braid stand-up needle are not counted in the number of stitches. It doesn't count the number of stitches. Good. Then let's look at the hook method of the second circle. 6 short needles plus needles. Short needle plus needle is in a braid. Hook 2 short needles into a hole like this. It's called short needle plus needle. So we just got 6 stitches on the first lap. 6 short stitches plus stitches are on the 6 stitches just now. 2 short stitches should be hooked inside each stitch. First of all, insert the first stitch here in the mark buckle. You can remove the mark buckle. Remember this location. Remember to take the mark and buckle this position. Plug in from here. Hook a short needle. Good. After hooking a short needle, let's hang a marker buckle. This means the first stitch of the second circle. Good, then our second lap is all hook and stitch. Then we need to insert it where we just hooked the first stitch. Hook another short needle. Good, that is, the position of taking the glue hook. Insert in and hook another stitch. This way, so we finish 2 stitches in one hole. This is a short needle plus needle. Next, insert it here in the next stitch of the braid. Next hole. Insert in. One. Good. Then insert it in the same position. One more stitch. All good. So we have finished 2 short needles plus needles. Good, 4 stitches left. The same on these 4 stitches is also each hook 2 short stitches. All good. The next needle is inserted. Good. Insert in the same position. One more stitch. Arheo. Good. Then the next stitch. One. Insert in a unified position. Arheo. Good. Then the next stitch. The same as 2 stitches. Insert in the same position. All good. The last stitch. The last mark is buckled here. We'll take down the mark buckle. There are also 2 stitches in this stitch. One good. Insert in the same position. One more stitch. Good. After this stitch is hooked, let's hang a marker buckle. This represents the last stitch of the second turn. Then after we finish the circle of hooks, there are 12 stitches in total. Everyone can count the braids. From the first braid. Count from the first mark buckle here to the last mark buckle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Good. 12 braids are right. Good. Then we need to pull the first needle here. The second mark buckle is inserted. Hook a pull. Hook over. Then the front coil is dragged out of the back coil for him like this. Pull out the braid formed by this needle. Let's pull him tight. The pull-out needle and the stand-up needle are not counted as the number of needles. Then put a braid on your hair. Standing needle crochet winding. Hook out. Good. Let's take a look at the hook method in the third circle. 1 short stitch and 1 plus stitch in brackets multiplied 6 times. This multiplied by 6 times doesn't mean 6 circles, but it means enclose this group inside the number. Let's hook 6 times in a row. First, take off the plus sign buckle. Remember this location. Insert it from the plus buckle. Hook the first short needle. Good. After hooking, hang the rubber buckle. This means that the first stitch of the third turn is good. So a short stitch in the brackets is enough. Then you need to add a stitch to the next stitch. 1 plus needle. Insert the next needle inside. 1. The next stitch is to hook 2 stitches in the same position. We insert it in the same position. Hook another short needle. 2 stitches. Good. In this way, 1 short stitch and 1 plus stitch inside the brackets will be done once. Then repeat this rule to continue. Then the next stitch is another short stitch. A short needle is a hook. 1 plus pin means hooking 2 in the same position. Good. Then add a stitch to the next stitch. Insert in the same position. 1 more stitch. In this way, 1 short stitch and 1 plus stitch in our brackets will be completed twice. Everyone will continue to tick down according to this rule. We can count it like this. 1 2 1 2. Like this. 1 is to tick 1. The second is to tick 2 in one position. Then the next stitch is another. 1. Good. Then the next stitch position is 2. The second is to tick 2 stitches in one position. Good. Insert in the same position. Tick another tick. Good. Then the next frame is another one. Good. The next stitch is 2. Insert in the same position. 1 more stitch. Good. Next is A. Good. The next stitch is 2. The third circle is the rule of 1, 2, 2. Good. 1 more stitch. The last stitch is 2. Remove the mark buckle. Good. Insert in the same position. 1 more stitch. Well, this is the last stitch. After hooking it, we put up the marker buckle. This represents the last stitch of the third lap. After the third circle of hooking, 18 stitches in total. Everyone, count the braids. Newbie friends are just starting. Be sure to count the stitches. See if it's right. Number of buckles from the first mark to the last mark. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 90. 11, 12, 13, 14. 15, 16, 17, 18. 18 stitches are right. Too much or too little is wrong. Good. Then add a deduction. The first needle is pulled and inserted here. Hook a lead and pull hook over. Then the front coil is hooked out of the back coil. This pigtail formed by pulling and pulling tightened him. Because the pulling and pulling of the standing needle is not counted as the number of needles. Good. Then put a braid on your hair. Stand up needle wrapped and hooked over. Good. Then hook to this circle. Let me tell you about it. When we were hooking, the way we take it is by facing ourselves. Reverse facing outward. The side with the thread is the opposite side. The front has clearer lines. Circle by circle is clearer like this. Then there is no such circle by circle lines on the reverse side. Then when you hook it, you are facing yourself. Pull the reverse side out like this. Good. Next, let's take a look at the hook method of the fourth lap. 2 short stitches and 1 plus stitch inside multiplied by 6 times. 2 short needles. That is to say, first hook 2 short needles. A short needle without adding or subtracting. Then add a stitch inside the third stitch, like this. Mark buckle removal. Where from the mark buckle here? Put it in. Hook the first short needle. Lay the first short needle. Let's put a mark buckle on him, too. Good. Then the second stitch is also a short stitch inside. So that's 2 short stitches and it's done. Inside the third stitch is a hook plus stitch. Hook and add a needle in the third hole. Hook 2 ones in a hole. Good. Insert in the same position. 1 more stitch. Good. Then our fourth lap is according to this rule. 2 short needles and you can add needles like this. 1, 2, like this. One is to hook 1 in each hole. The second is to hook 2 in one hole. Then next is another one. Good. Then there is also one. Good. Then next is 2. Hook 2 stitches in a hole. Write it down again. Good. Then another one. Good. The third one is 2. Let's follow this rule to hook. Then 1. 1. 2. Then there was another one. 1. Okay, last 2. Good. So we have finished 5 times in brackets. Last time 1. 1. Good. The last stitch is 2. Good. After the last stitch is hooked, let's put a mark buckle on him. Good hook, good. After this lap, we have a total of 24 stitches. Everyone, count the stitches. Newbie friend, be sure to correct the number of stitches in each turn. See if it's right. Then buckle the mark here. Pull and plug in. Hook a pull. Front coil. Pull from the rear coil. Pull out tension. Good. Put a braid on your hair. Stand up needle wound thread hook over. Start hooking the 5th lap. The 5th turn is 3 short stitches, 1 plus stitch multiplied by 6 times. That is, the first 3 stitches are normal. Hook 4th stitch hook plus stitch. The mark buckle is removed like this. Insert from the mark buckle position. Hook the first short needle. Good. After hooking, buckle the plus sign buckle. Good. So we tick 1. Next, there is also a hook inside the 2nd stitch. The 3rd stitch is also a hook. Good. So we finished 3 short stitches. Inside the 4th stitch is a hook plus stitch. Give him 2 stitches in a hole. 1. Insert 2 in the same position. Good. Then our circle is according to this rule. 3 short needles and 1 plus needle. Such a law. Then everyone can count like this. When you hook it, it's like 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 1. Then the fourth one is 2. 1 plus 1. 2 ones. The third one is also 1. Good. Inside the fourth stitch is 2. Tick another tick at the same position. Good. Everyone keep hooking the circle for it according to this rule. One, then 2. Give him 2 hooks in the same position. Then another 1. 1. 1 good. Then 2. Good. Then another 1. 1. 1 good. Finally, 2. There are 2 in the last stitch. Good. Then for the last stitch, everyone buckles it with a mark buckle. Good. Then pull it out here on the mark buckle. Insert in and hook a pull-out needle. Front coil. Drag out of the back coil. Pull out the needle. Pull him tight. Good. Then put a braid on your hair. Stand up needle wrapped and hooked over. Next, let's take a look at the hook method on the 6th lap. It's 30 short stitches, without adding or subtracting. It's easy without adding or subtracting. That is, a short stitch is hooked one by one on each braid. We just finished the 5th lap, and after that, it's 30 stitches. Then now in the 6th lap, it is good to hook 30 stitches, without adding or subtracting. To buckle and remove. Insert it from the mark buckle here. Hook the first short needle. After the hook is done, we will buckle the mark buckle. Then on every braid in the back. A short stitch is hooked on each braid in 1-to-1 correspondence. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 best. Just follow this method. Just tick 1 tick on each. Just finish the circle in total. Good. Everyone, keep ticking down. I won't show you here. Good. Here I have finished hooking the circle without adding or subtracting. It is such an effect after hooking. If everyone hooks loosely in the last lap, maybe he is almost a flat effect. But actually he is a little concave like this. Then we insert it through the mark buckle. Hook a pull. Then hook it over. Pull out the needle, pull him tight. Good. Then make a hook and a braid. Stand up needle as a knot. Directly wind the wire and hook it over. Good. Then disconnect the line at this position. You don't have to leave a long line here. Directly disconnect the line like this, then pull it out and tighten it. Good. What about after it's hooked? Let's take a look, everyone. We started from the position of our first needle. Through the inside and out of it like this. Hook our thread over it. Come through the inside. Position of the first stitch. Then put this thread. Hook him up like this. Hook it over and pull it hard. Pull this knot inside. Just pull it like this. Then you can take 2 small lines. A yellow line like this. Take 2 sections. We're here at his first shot. where the first needle is inserted here. Hook him up like this. Make a mark. Let's have a look. After the first needle is inserted, hook this little thread for him like this. Good. Then insert the last stitch here too. Hook a small line over. The last stitch will be hooked here. Hook a small line over. Good. Then remove the mark buckle. Just leave the thread of the needle inside. No need to cut it. Good. Then our playboy is done. Put it aside like this for later use. Next, everyone takes out the green thread. Let's hook the receptacle. Then the hooking method of the receptacle is similar to that of the flower core. Its needles are all the same. Start 6 short needles. Then the second circle of it is hooked 6 stitches without adding or subtracting. The third lap starts the same as the second lap of flower core. Then the fourth circle is the same as the hook method of the third circle of the flower core. The rule of the fifth circle is the same as the rule of the fourth circle in the heart of the flowers. The rule of the sixth circle is the same as the rule of the fifth circle. Then there is no short stitch of 30 stitches that is not hooked in the back and is not added or subtracted because the receptacle doesn't need to be concave in the shape. So this here behind is not added or subtracted. There is no hook in this circle. Good. Everyone take out the green thread. The method of lifting the needle is annular needle lifting. 6 short needles. Pinch the thread with your right hand. Hang the thread on the left hand. Pinch. The same thing, all with the big crochet hook. Crochet hook inserted into loop. Hook the thread like this. Then hook another needle. Fixed. Tighten like this. Good. Then we hook 6 short needles in the circle and insert them. Good. After hooking a short needle, you can hang a mark buckle. Because this hook method is similar to that of Playboy. So here, I won't explain it to you in detail in slow motion. Good. Then continue to hook the short needle. 2, 3, 6. Good. After hooking 6 short needles, let's tighten this coil on it. Put the thread in it. Then we insert it here in the mark buckle to seduce and pull it out. The buckle can be removed. Insert it through the cancel buckle. Hook a pull. Take it out. Then the front coil hooks over from the back coil. Tension. Everyone can also be the same as the flower line here. Make him a mark buckle at our last stitch, too. That is, on the 6th stitch. Both the 1st stitch and the 6th stitch should be done and a mark buckle should be done. This will make it easier for everyone to identify, okay. Then hook another standing needle. Good. The next hook method of the second circle is 6 short needles plus needles. 6 short needles without adding or subtracting. It's wrong here. 6 short needles without adding or subtracting. Cutting plastic cloth is very simple. Just hook a short stitch on each braid one by one. The same location that was pulled first. That is, the position of the first stitch in the previous circle is inserted. Hook a short needle. After the hook is done, we still buckle the rubber buckle. Good. Next, the second braid is also hooked with a short stitch inside. There is also one inside the third stitch. One for the fourth stitch. There is also one inside the fifth stitch. Good. The last stitch is also a hook. This way the hook can remove the last stitch. Button to the last stitch just hooked here. If everyone finishes hooking the second circle, this is what it looks like. It's just a little like this. After concave, we can turn it over like this. Push in the inside out. Because ours is against this pair. To yourself, this side is the front. The side facing outside is the opposite side. Good. After checking. There's still a long way to go here. Why? Because this number of stitches is small, so he's gonna drive this distance a little bit. Then here is the extraction needle. It doesn't hook up with the stand-up needle. Because they don't count stitches. Let's just ignore this place. Pull it out here on the mark buckle. The mark buckle is inserted to seduce and pull out. Pull out tension. Then hook a standing needle. Next, let's take a look at his hook on the third lap. Corresponding to the second circle of the center of the flower. That is, 6 short needles plus needles. 1 on each stitch is 2 stitches for him. Remove the mark buckle. Take the mark buckle position and insert it in. Yeah, okay. Hang the mark buckle first on the first stitch. Then insert it in the same position. Let's give him another hook. Good. This completes a short needle plus needle. Then the next stitch. The same thing is to hook him 2 short stitches in 1 stitch. 1 is inserted in the same position and 2 is inserted in the same position. Good. The next pin is also 1. Insert it in the same position. 2. Another needle. 1. Insert 2 in the same position. Good. Another needle. 1 is inserted in the same position and 2 is inserted in the same position. Good. The last stitch, mark buckle removal. There are also 2 hooks in this stitch. 1. Arheo. The last stitch is finished. Let's put a mark buckle on it. Then pull it out here on the rubber buckle. Hook a stand-up needle tightly. So after we finish the second lap, this is how it looks. After the second hook, there are 12 stitches in total. Let's take a look at the number of stitches. I made a mistake on the third lap. After the third hook, there are 12 stitches in total. Let's take a look. Here's 1, 2, 3. The third hook is 12 stitches. Let's count the stitches and see if it's right. Let's take a look next. The hook method of the fourth turn is 1 short stitch and 1 plus stitch multiplied by 6 times. 1 short needle and 1 plus needle. Cross buckle removal. Insert it from the retrieval buckle. Hook a short needle. Good. Buckle. Then inside the next stitch. Hook an additional stitch inside the next stitch. Hook 2 stitches into this hole. Good. Then this circle is according to this rule. 1, 2, 2, such a rule. Next is another one. Good. Then next is 2. Good. Next is A. Then there are 2. One. Then there are 2. LSE. Next is the 2. Then A. The last stitch is 2. Good. After the last stitch is hooked, let's put a mark buckle on him. Good. Now we've hooked the fourth round of the flower box. After the fourth hook, there are 18 stitches in total. Let's check the number of stitches and see if it's right. Good. Then the 7th buckle. Extract here. Hook a stand-up needle tightly. Good. Remove the buckle. Let's take a look at the 5th circle. There are 2 short needles. A plus needle multiplied by 6 times. Good. Insert it through the mark buckle first. Hook the first short needle. Hook up, buckle the mark buckle. Good. The next stitch is also a short stitch. So we have hooked 2 short needles. Next, the third stitch is the hook stitch. 1. Insert in the same position. 2. Good. This string is according to the law of 2 short stitches and 1 plus stitch. Next is another short needle. Then another short needle. Then the next. The needle is adding the needle. It's better to hook 2 stitches in the same position. That's the rule of 1 2. 1 2. 2 1 1 2. 1. The next stitch is good. The next stitch is 2. Good. Then another one. 1. The next stitch is 2. Good. Then another one. 1. The next stitch is 2. One by one is good. The last stitch is 2. The last stitch is 2. 1. The same needle is 2 good. After hooking, buckle the mark buckle. Then after we finish hooking on the 5th lap. There are 24 stitches in total. Let's count the stitches. Let's see if it's right. Good. After the tick is finished, the mark is buckled in. Pull and plug in. Hook a pull-out needle. The pull-out needle forms this braid tension. Hook a pigtail diagonal needle. Tick it off like this. Then look at the receptacle. The hook method of the last turn is 3 short stitches and 1 multiply 6 times 3 short stitches. The first stitch is inserted into the Tsujiao hook stitch. Okay then. The next stitch is also 1. Another needle is also a good one. Just the next stitch is 2. Insert in the same position. Good. In this way, the 3 short stitches will be completed once as soon as 1 stitch is added. Continue A. 1. A good. Then 2. Good. Finish twice. Add needle by short needle. Repeat this rule 1 by 1. 1 then 2. Good 1. 1. Okay then 2. 1. 1. 1 good then 2. Good, then another one. 1 by 1 is good. Then finally, here is 2 ah. The last stitch here. Good. Hang the buckle on the last stitch. After hooking, pull out here on the first needle. Extraction. Pull and tighten well. Hook a braid. Stand-up needle as a knot. Hook it directly by winding the wire. Good. Then the line is disconnected here. Pick out the thread like this and tighten it. Tighten it. Strain a little tighter, then from the opposite side. The opposite side of the first stitch is passed through like this. Hook this thread over it. Hook it over like this. Tighten it, lala over. Pull that joint over. Good. So our receptacle is finished. Good. What about after the flower core and receptacle are hooked? Next we're going to hook the petals. Everyone take out the yellow thread first. And before hooking the petals, we took out a flower pole. Take care of this flower stem first. Take a look at this end. Let's break one like this first. Use some force like this and break it like this. Break it like this. Don't break it too long. We need to make sure he can. Well, put it in this flower heart. Good. Let's bend one like this first. Let's do this first. Let's take a look. Bend it like this with some force. If you have pliers, you can use pliers. If not, just break it with your hands. Then take a look at this position. Pinch here. Pinch it here. This is about the same length as here. Then bend like this. Bend it like this. It's almost a flat one above. This is what it looks like. And what about this place? You can lean in a little. You can squeeze this hole a little. Good. It's done, and that's about it. Then put it aside for later use. Set aside for later use. Let's hook the petals first. Wait for the petals to hook. Attention everyone. The petals are hooked until there are 3 left. When there are 2 or 3 left, we're gonna put this wire in. Put it in. Everyone, don't forget to put this wire. Put this first. The yellow line is on the left hand. Hang the line like this. Pinch, pinch. Then the 2 woven pieces in the center of the flower. The opposite side is opposite to the opposite side. Everyone try to put the thread in it. The opposite side is opposite to the opposite side. And then when it is hooked, the coffee-colored piece is the piece of the flower's heart facing oneself. Then the receptacle is facing the outside. Hold the hook like this, or your petals are. If you take it backwards, then your petals are reversed. Still use the big end of the crochet hook. We pass through. Make a mark buckle, this position of the mark. Then pull it out for him. Cross this mark on the left. Then wear it again. At the same time, the position of this mark buckle passing through the receptacle. Then take it off. Then pinch this thread. Lean it back. Pinch like this. Pinch it and hook it like this. Wrap the wire like this. Take a look. Good. Wrap the thread and hook it up like this. Good. After hooking it over, let's take a look at how the petals are hooked. Hook 2 braid needles. After hooking it over, hook 2 braid needles, crochet a thread. Then 2 more wire wraps. After hooking 2 braid stitches, then insert it from the next needle. Hook a long needle. A long needle. Then a long, long needle. Let's take a look at the hooking method of long needles. Crochet, direct winding. The winding thread is inserted from the next stitch to the next. Then simultaneously pass through the next stitch of the back receptacle. Through it at the same time. And what about this thread? We can put it on top of the crochet hook for him. Take it in together when you hook it. You can stay here too. Finally, you can hide it with stitches. It's okay to put it in like this, okay? Then wound the crochet and wound the thread. Hook over. Hook over, pull it like this. After hooking over. Now crochet 3 loops on the hook. The winding is hooked out of the first 2 coils. Good. Now there are 2 more loops on the crochet hook. The wire is hooked through the remaining 2 coils. Then this is the hook method of a long needle. Then we have to hook a long needle in the same position. And a long, long needle. Long, long needle, we call it 2-turn long needle. Just turn it twice. Long and long needles are called 3-turn long needles. First, the long needle is twice, next one. 2. Just turn it twice like that. We can also call it a 2-turn long needle. Good. Then insert it through the hole, just hook the long needle. After inserting it, wrap it around the wire and hook it over. Elongation. After hooking it over. First put 4 loops on the hook needle. 4 windings. Hook the first 2. Good. 3 more coils. The wire is hooked over from the first 2. Good. And 2 more. The wire is hooked over from the remaining 2. This is a 2-turn long needle. Good. Next, hook another 3-turn long needle. Just turn 3, 1, 2, 3. Good. After 3 turns, I still insert it through this hole. Just hook this hole with a long needle. Insert in. Then hook the line over. Stretch and hook. There are 5 loops on the needle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The wire is hooked over from the first 2. The wire is hooked over from the first 2. Good. The wire is hooked over from the first 2. Winding the 2 remaining wire, hook it over, okay. Half of such a petal. We're halfway through. Hooked half of a petal. Good. Next, you need to hook a dogtooth pin. Let's see how to hook the dogtooth pin. First of all, hook 3 braid stitches. 1. Good. After the first pigtail needle is hooked. We can do this in his. Insert in the middle of the braid. Hang the thread on his left side like this. Hang this thread on the left side of this braid. Hang it up like this. Good. Then move on to the hook and braid. Let's hook 3 in total. Now 1 hooked and 2 hooked. 3 good. Hook 3 and then rewind it back. In this braid, we scratch mark buckle. Insert it in the middle of it. That is, insert it from the scratch mark buckle. Let's take a look, back this way. The third one. 1, 2, 3. It's the scraper buckle, insert it here. Wrap this thread. Wrap directly around. Then take it out. After hooking it out, hook a lead and pull it out. It is to put the front coil. Drag him out of the back coil. This completes a dogtooth needle. That's it. It is that the petals form a sharp tip. A sharp tip is formed here. Good. So the buckle can be removed. Good. Next we need to inside the next stitch. According to this stitch. Opposite law hook. That is, hook a long needle first. Then hook another long needle. Hook another long needle. Need to hook inside the next braid. Good. Turn 3 first and turn 1 next. 2. Miyoshi. From the next stitch, insert it. Through 2 pieces of thread at the same time and put it up. Good. Hook it out by winding the wire. Elongate well. Then the wire is hooked over the first 2 coils of the first 2 grid sides and hooked over the first 2 coils of the first 2 grid sides. Every time the wire is wrapped, 2 coils are hooked. Each winding hooks through 2 coils. Good. This completes a 3-turn long needle. Then hook another 2-turn long needle in the same hole. A long needle. Turn to next one. 2. Or insert it through the hole that just hooked the long needle. Hook over. Good. 4 loops on a crochet hook. The wire is hooked over from the first 2. The wire is hooked over from the first 2. Then hook a long needle in this hole. The long needle is turned. Insert the wire. Hook over. Good. The wire is hooked over the first 2 coils. Winding the wire and hooking the remaining 2 coils. Such a petal hook is like this. Then 2 more braid stitches. So that the braid needle winds 1 thread. 2 windings are good. Then remove a needle and pull it out. The next needle is inserted. The next needle is inserted. Hook a lead and pull hook over. Then the front coil is hooked to him from the back coil. Good. So that one of our complete petals is hooked. Then repeat the hook method of this petal. Repeat the hook of this petal. First of all, 2 braids. 1. 2 good winding lines. Then in the next stitch, it is to hook a long needle in the next needle after the extraction. A long needle. A long needle. The crochet hook is wound first. Winding a thread once, insert it from the next needle. Next, stitch through the receptacle at the same time. Through 2 pieces at the same time. Then, winding the wire like this. Wrap the wire and hook it over. Stretch the current hook. 3 loops on the needle. The winding is hooked over the first 2. Then first hook a long needle from the remaining 2 hooks. Then hook the long needle. Hook another 2-turn long needle and another 3-turn long needle and 2-turn long needle in the hole. Turn twice, 1 or 2, okay. Insert through this needle. Hook over. Good hook, 4 loops on the needle. The winding is hooked through the first 2 squares. It is better to hook the first 2 squares of the winding wire. The wire wraps through the remaining 2 hooks. Then a 3-turn long needle 1, 2, 3. Or insert it through this needle. Hook the line out. Go through 2 and turn. Winding a thread once. Through 2. Good. Then the dog tooth needle here. Hook 3 braids in 1. How about the first braid hook? Everyone can make a mark for him. Is going through the middle of the braid. Hang the thread on his left. 2 more braids. Second. Then the third. Then back it up and mark it. Buckle this braid. Reverse. Insert it through this braid. The buckle can be removed after inserting it in. Then wrap this thread. Wrap the wire and hook it over. Pull it out directly after hooking it. Place the front coil. Hook him like this from the back coil. This is a hook down. Good. This thread presses so much. We can put it in there. No more pressure. Good. Next, from inside the next stitch, hook a 3-turn long stitch in the next stitch. A 2-turn long needle, a long needle, 3-turn long needle, first 1, 2, 3. That is, from high to low, insert it from the next braid. Then corresponding to the next stitch, the next piece, the next braid, Okay, hook it over. Good. Then the wire is wrapped through the first 2. The wire is wrapped through the first 2. The wire is wrapped through the first 2. Good. Then a 2-turn long needle. Turn twice, twice. Or insert it from the needle just now. Hook over. Then the wire is wrapped through the first 2. The first 2. Then turn a long needle. Then insert it through this needle. Winding. Good. Wrap the wire and hook it over. Good. Then hook 2 braid stitches. Winding 1. Then 2. After the 2 braid needles are hooked, insert it from the next needle, pull out the next needle. Then the next one of the other petal is the next stitch of the receptacle. Through 2 pieces at the same time. After pulling out the hook, the front coil hooks out from the rear coil. Tension. Good. So our petals are finished with 2. Good. Continue with 2 braids in 1. 2 good. Then hook a long stitch from the next stitch. A 2-turn long needle, a 3-turn long needle. It's the same as the petal hooking method here. The long needle is hooked from the next needle, not from imba here. The next needle after extraction passes through both pieces. A long needle. Then turn a 2-turn long needle twice. Or insert it through this needle. A 2-turn long needle. Good. Then turn 3 times. The 3-turn long needle is still inserted through this needle. Good. Then 3 braids 1. The first to put a mark. 2 3. Then when you reverse it, you will button this braid and insert it into it. Hook a pull. Then next. Hook the inside of the next stitch. 3 turn long needle, 2 turn long needle long needle. Insert it from the next needle. Good. Then turn a 2 turn long needle twice. Or insert it through this needle. Then a long needle. Good. Then 2 braids 1. 2 needles are inserted. Pull in from the next needle. Pull through 2 pieces at the same time. Good. 3 petals are finished. Good. Continue this tick method. We hooked. That's when you hook to the position where there are 3 petals left. Let's put this wire in. Put this wire in. Don't forget to put the wire in. Good. Then everyone keep ticking down. I won't repeat the demonstration to you here. Done. Here I have hooked 7 petals. 3 left unhooked. We have 10 petals in total. 30 stitches are 10 petals in total. A petal takes up 3 stitches. Let's take a look, everyone. The middle of each petal takes up 2 stitches completely. Then take a look at it. The complete one takes up 2 stitches. Then the needles occupied by each side are counted as half a needle, because the needle on the side is shared with the petals on both sides of the side. So he's 2 petals in one frame. 2 petals occupy a frame together here. If you finish hooking like this, there will be 10 petals in total. Then everyone's hook is different in tightness. There will be differences in size. Like this petal, if the hook is a little looser, he'll be a little older. If you hook it tightly, it will be smaller. After ticking here, everyone, take out this wire that we've dealt with earlier. From his receptacle. Insert this in the middle here. Plug in from here. Put it in like this. Then the inside of this receptacle. If everyone's mouth is too big. If this circle is too big, everyone, tighten the thread for him to pick up the needle. Be sure to tighten it a little. When you tighten up the needle, tighten that thread in the first turn. Then stuff in some more cotton filler. Everyone stuff it a little bit in here. The padding cotton is on the top of this receptacle. On top of this wire. A little will do. Don't have too much. Like this, he puffs up. Then we have to wrap the wire here then. I have to wrap the thread on it, okay. After installing it. Let's finish hooking the remaining 3 petals for it. Good. After installation, continue to hook down. Hook a long stitch inside the next stitch. A 2 turn long needle. Good. A 3 turn long needle. Good. Everyone, keep ticking down, tick to the end. The last petal, after checking. Let me teach you how to pull it out with the first petal here, okay? One last petal left. Take 2 braids first. 1 or 2 is good. Then the wire is wound. The next needle is inserted. Through both pieces at the same time. A long needle. Then a 2 turn long needle. A 3-turn long needle. Three braids. 1, 2, 3, back up. Pull out inside the first braid. Good. Half of such a petal is finished hooking. The remaining half is ticked here where the rest of the mark is marked. 2, 3 turns and 3 times. Mark from this. Just mark this line and insert it here. Good. Then pass through again. The receptacle is marked here. Go through here. The mark buckle can be removed. Everyone can also use wool to make marks. Naturally. Then give it the remaining half to finish ticking. Good. 1, 2. Good. Then a long needle. Hook well, after 2 braids. 1, 2. Then take a look at it. Here is the location of the extraction. It's just a lead position. Where there are knots, there will be a little of this gap. It's gonna be a little bumpy. Then we just have to put the last stitch here and after we finish hooking up here. Directly on the right. This petal on the left. That is, the first petal. Here's the first shot. First petal, first stitch, start here. This position is inserted and pulled out. Plug in from here. Let's take a look, everyone. Just insert it and seduce it. Lead plate. Tighten well. Then hook a braid stitch. Winding the thread and hooking it out as a knot. Then it can be disconnected here. Pull out and tighten. Good. Then remove the excess thread. Let's hide him in this playboy's heart. You can also hide it here in this petal. Hide it with a suture needle. Directly on the back of this petal. How many stitches are threaded on the back of the petals like this? How many stitches do you wear like this? How many stitches to wear? Then bring this stitch over like this. Bring this thread over and tighten it. Cut off the excess thread. Good. After this is hooked. Let's arrange this flower for him like this. This petal. Let's sort it out. Good. Next, we have to start learning to hook leaves. Good. Next, we're going to hook the leaves. Before hooking the leaves, let's cut its wire first. Thin wire. Leaf. The length of the thin wire required for a leaf is 20 centimeters. Then if everyone has a ruler, you can use a ruler to compare. Then if there is no ruler, we can use this crochet hook or a flower rod. For the flower rod, its actual length is this. The actual length of this is 30 centimeters. 30 centimeters. Then let's divide it into 3 parts. The thin wire needs 2/3 of the length. 2/3 of the position. It's probably that it doesn't matter if it's a little longer or shorter here. This position. Then cut it open. Then use a crochet hook. Crochet comparison. Just a little longer than crochet. Let's take a look. It's a distance longer than crochet. Such a length is 20 centimeters. About 20 centimeters long is fine. Good. Everyone take out the green wool. Then our suction wire is not put in until we hook the second loop. You don't have to put it away when you hook the first turn. Our leaves are pigtail needles. Let's tie a slip knot to this thread first. Tie a knot like this. How to tie slip knots in daily life. Tie it a slip knot like this. Pull a small circle out here, okay. Like this. Then we put our thread on the left hand. Little finger wound from front to back. Pull over the top of the index finger. Where your thumb and middle finger hold this joint. Good. Still use the big crochet end to insert it into the small circle. Small coil. Then adjust to the appropriate length. This little coil doesn't have to be too long or too short. It's just that the crochet hook doesn't have to be too loose or too tight. As long as the crochet hook can move freely back and forth. Good. Then we hook and braid needles. Hook method of braid needle. Everyone watch me demonstrate. How to hook the braid needle. Crochet straight around this thread. Hook it out by winding the wire in the middle part. This is a braid. Wrap the thread and hook 2 braids. Winding the thread and hooking over 3. We have 11 pigtails in total. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Good. After getting 11 braid stitches, we hook back from the penultimate braid. The penultimate one is crochet down is the first one. Then the second. The penultimate here. That is, count up from here. Tick to the 10th. Pigtails here. The penultimate braid. Let's go through the middle of this braid and pick his. This line on the left. Put it in like this, put it in. Then hook a short needle. Crochet the hook directly around the thread. Hook a short needle. Hook out. Then wind the thread and hook a short needle. After hooking a short needle, we can make him a mark buckle. Then the next braid. Put the next braid in. Good down. Let's hook a medium length stitch in this braid. Hook method of medium and long needles. Everyone watch me demonstrate. The crochet hook is wound once first. The wire is inserted through the next braid. Then wind the wire and hook it out. There are 3 loops on the crochet hook. 1, 2, 3. We wound the first 2 threads and hook them. This is a medium long needle. Next, hook 6 long needles. We have already hooked the long needle when we hooked the petals. The hook needle is wrapped and inserted from the next needle. Wrap the wire and hook it over. Good. Now crochet 3 loops on the hook. The wire is hooked from the first 2 coils. Rewind the wire and hook it from the remaining 2 coils. This is a long needle. We hooked 6 long needles in succession. Wrap the next needle and insert it in. The first 2 hook lines come out. It's good to tick 2. Wrap the thread again and insert it from the next needle. Winding hooks over the first 2. 3 long needles. Continue to wind the thread and insert the next needle in. 4 long needles. Wrap the next needle and insert it in. 5 long needles. Wrap the next needle and insert 6 long needles. After hooking 6 long needles. Next, the more we have a medium and long needle. 1. The winding thread is inserted from the next needle. Hook a medium long needle. Hook the line out. Then the wire is wrapped and dragged through all the coils together, okay. Hook the long needle in the middle. Let's take a look at this hole here. This hole, we can put a mark on it here. Here we put a mark buckle on him. He made a mark. Then the last stitch. The last braid here. Let's hook him 3 short stitches inside this stitch. Just hook 3 short stitches inside this last stitch. The last braid is inserted. A short needle is good. It's better to insert 2 short needles through this hole. Then insert it through this hole and hook 3 short needles. This thread, pull it back like this, pull it like this. Hook the 3rd short needle. This is what it looks like after hooking it, and now it's on the other side of the braid. Turn to the other side of the braid. Let's take a look. The other side corresponds to the stitch method on this side. Corresponding to this side. Then next, I just marked. Here is a medium length needle. A medium long needle is hooked here. Insert the corresponding hole into it. Hook a medium length needle, then this long needle with the corresponding hole hook. That's it. Good. Then first a medium length crochet hook. Winding the wire like this. Insert it through the net scratch mark button. Then this thread can be placed on top of the crochet hook. Press in together when hooking. Hook the line out. 3 loops on a crochet hook. The winding wire is dragged along. Good. The mark buckle can be removed. The hole in the mark buckle has been hooked just now. Take a look, that's it. The stitches on this side and this side share a hole. Then there is a long hole in the corresponding hole. We will hook a long needle in this hole. Winding. Insert the length at this hole. Good. Hook a long needle. Good winding. Hook a long needle for the corresponding hole. Also attached to a hook. 6 long needles. 2 now. Continue to insert the next needle. 3. Continue winding. The next needle is inserted 4. Then the wire is wound. The next needle is inserted 5. 5 long needles. Then the wire is wound. The next needle is inserted into the 6th one. Good. After the 6 long needles are hooked. Then a medium long needle winding. Hook a medium length stitch inside the next stitch. Drag the 3 coils directly together. Good. Medium and long targets. Come down and last stitch here. The last stitch here. Here's a hook and a short needle is inserted. Hook a short needle. Good. After hooking it, pull it out here at the crossover. Cross buckle insertion. Hook a pull-out needle. Pull out the needle. Pigtails tighten his hair. Then put a braid on your hair. Stand up for a stitch. Next up is the 2nd row. It's a short needle that hooks 1 circle without adding or subtracting. A short needle hooked on this side without adding or subtracting. Dog tooth pin to this pointed point. Then there are 10 short needles on this side without adding or subtracting. 10 short needles here. 10 short needles here. A dog's tooth pin is hooked here at the pointy point. When hooked, before hooking here, we have to hook this wire together. Take out our trimmed wire. When it is hooked, let's pinch him with this weaving piece. Pinch the wire together with the woven piece. Remove the mark buckle. Take it off and take it again. Remove mark buckle. Here's the first shot. Good. Take it up and pinch it. Pinch it. Then insert it through the rubber buckle. Crochet hook. This wire is also placed on the crochet hook. Then wind the wire and hook it over. Hook it over and then hook it over by winding the wire. In this way, our iron wire will be wrapped around. The bag is in it. Then there are 10 short needles on this side. 1. Next stitch. 2 short needles. Another needle. 3. Put a short needle on each braid to the corresponding one. 4. 5 here. 6 for the next stitch. 7. 8. 9. Then 10. Good. 10 short needles. After hooking, get to this position. Here at Jian, we need to hook a short needle in this pointed point. A braided hair. Then a short needle of the dog's tooth. And then another. The short stitches are all done in the same stitch. It's this position. This needle is inserted. That just folded this wire. This position of the pointed point. It's also folded in half here. We're hooking up here. The length of both sides is about the same. Good. Hook a short needle first. Good. A short needle, followed by a braid. Pigtails. Then hook another dog tooth. Hook here on our short stitch. Exit first. Exit first. First pull out the short needle just now. Let me show you again first. This pointy point here. This needle is inserted. Hook the line out. After taking it out, it's okay. After taking it out here. Let's take a mark buckle. Give him a mark. Put him a mark on this coil in front of us. Hang like this. Just the coil in front of the hook pin. Hang him like this. Finish the short needle after hanging. Finish the short needle. After finishing, wrap another braid and hook it over. Good. Then from our mark buckle here. Plug it in, plug it in. Everyone, take a look, okay. Remove the glue hook. After inserting it. Wrap this thread. Hook over the wire. After hooking over. The front coil hooks out from the rear coil. This is a draw. This makes a sharp point. Forms a sharp tip. Then still hook in the hole, just hook the short needle. Insert into this hole. Same hole. Hook another short needle. This forms a pointed tip of a leaf. And then there are 10 short needles on this side, too. When hooking, pinch the wire together and hook it in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. 10 stitches later. Let's have a look with everyone here. Pull out a needle here. Don't hook the first stitch here. With the first needle here. Well. Good. Then hook a braid stitch. Good. Then the line is disconnected here. Pull out. Tighten well. Sort this leaf for him again. Pull it like this, with wire inside. So just now, he had a bit of a deformation. Then we'll just sort it out for him. Give him a pull of this wire. Needle lifting. Press this thread here. To tighten it. Pull it tight like this. What about after tightening? Cut off its excess thread. This wire opening at the back. This position of the wire can be twisted for him like this. Good. So our leaves are finished. We can put 1 or 2 leaves on one. Then finally, we'll put its leaves on it. Wrap wool around this flower pole. Take out our green thread. This thread is a section like this. It's such a long section. The pen pair is in this place. Pinch it at the same time as the flower pole. After pinching, use the long end to come and go here and wrap it like this. The position of this mouth is wrapped twice more. It's close to this receptacle. Let's give him a couple more hookups. Good. Wrap it twice more like this. Then go down. Tie it a little tighter. Good. Go down and hold it like this. It must be tightly tightened. After being entangled for about this long, you can install a leaf on it first. Put a leaf on it first. If the leaves are directly pinched at the same time as this flower stem, then when we wrap the leaves, put him in this position. Let's take a look, everyone. Give him this position. Give him this position to be entangled. Wrap him up like this, so it doesn't fall out. Be sure to give him some of this position. Then tie him up. Tangle it tightly like this. Good. Then down. Good. Tangled up to this point. After this position, let's put the second leaf on it. The distance that the leaf is attached to the pole. You can adjust it yourself. It doesn't have to follow my method like this. It doesn't have to follow my distance. Good. The leaves were arranged for him before they were loaded. The same thing is to put this root here, pointed here. Wrap him up here on the knitting piece. Then go on down. Good. Everyone must sort out the leaves before installing them. Good. Then continue to wrap down according to this method. Finish this wire. The installation distance can be lower. It can also be a little higher. You can adjust this distance yourself. Then continue to wrap down. After wrapping up this and this piece, you just turn it like this. Good. We'll tie him a knot when we get here. Just tie this yarn to him like this. If you tie this place twice more, We don't have to pinch it either. Good. Cut the thread after tying. If everyone in this place. I'm worried if he spreads out. We'll just use our glue sticks and lighters. Take out the lighter. Take out our hot melt adhesive. Give him a pinch here. Burn this hot melt glue with a lighter. We use this blue flame at this root to burn. This way it won't be black when it comes out. Good. After brushing it off, we directly glue this thread to him like this. So our sunflower flowers are finished. If there is anything you don't understand when crocheting, you can consult our customer service.